Do Christians need to tithe in the New Testament? Is tithing just an Old Testament law, or is it still relevant today? First, tithing did not begin with Moses. Many assume tithing started with the law of Moses, but before Israel existed as a nation, Abraham gave a tenth to Melchizedek, Genesis 14:20. Jacob also pledged a tenth to God, Genesis 28:22. This shows tithing predates the ceremonial law. It was a principle of worship and acknowledgement of God's ownership. Second, Jesus did not abolish tithing. In Matthew 23:23, Jesus said, "You ought to have done these without leaving the others undone." He rebuked the Pharisees not for tithing, but for neglecting justice, mercy, and faith. He affirmed tithing while correcting hypocrisy. Third, the New Testament supports systematic giving. 1 Corinthians 9:13-14 says, "The Lord has commanded that those who preach the gospel should live from the gospel." Paul connects gospel ministry support with the Old Testament system that included tithes. 1 Corinthians 16:2 encourages believers to set aside offerings regularly. The pattern is intentional, systematic giving. Fourth, tithing is not about legalism. Tithing does not save anyone. Salvation is by grace through faith, Ephesians 2:8-9. Tithing is about acknowledging God as owner, supporting gospel ministry, cultivating trust over materialism. Malachi 3:10 calls it returning what already belongs to God. It is not payment, it is stewardship. So, do Christians need to tithe? The New Testament does not present it as a ritual law for salvation, but it upholds the principle of systematic, faithful support for God's work. Tithing is not about obligation. It is about loyalty. It is not about earning blessing. It is about recognizing the giver of every blessing. If Christ gave his life for us, returning a tenth is not a burden, it is an act of worship.